This is the Jeanine Pirro Show. Now, here's Judge Jeanine Pirro.
Welcome back to the Judge Jeanine Tunnel to Towers Foundation Show. Joining us now is not only the representative of the 7th District of Florida, he is a hero. He is someone that we can all admire. He speaks truth. And I want you to hear him this Sunday morning. Cory Mills, Congressman Cory Mills, thank you so much for joining us. I know you're busy.
Thank you.
And we're delighted to have you. You know, I'm having a different kind of show today, Congressman. Just before you, I had a woman on the show by the name of Tammy Nobles. You may not know that name, but her daughter, Kayla Hamilton, a young, beautiful 20-year-old, was murdered by an illegal alien who was let in by Homeland Security. And, they said that, he was vetted and all was well. He was an MS-13 gang member who murdered her daughter, and they had it on tape. And then raped her after he murdered her. And she is now, after he has been arrested and he's in prison, he was wanted in El Salvador. She's now suing DHS. And I said to myself, you know what? More people ought to do that. You know, sovereignty be damned at this point in terms of the government. But you have been very busy.
President Trump has led the onslaught of lies. Assertions have been made that property is being confiscated. That's simply not true. They're saying people impacted by these storms will receive $750 in cash and no more. That's simply not true. They're saying the money is needed for this crisis is being diverted to migrants. What a ridiculous thing to say. It's not true. Now the claims are getting even more bizarre. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, a congresswoman from Georgia, is now saying the federal government is literally controlling the weather. We're controlling the weather. It's beyond ridiculous. It's got to stop.
Congressman Cory Mills, the president is saying that all is well with the hurricanes and that FEMA is there on the ground and taking care of everything. And on top of it, he had to trash in the middle of a press conference on the hurricane. He had to trash former President Trump. What do you say?
Well, the bottom line is that FEMA didn't even respond to the people of Western North Carolina for over a week. And when they did show up, they had a couple of small trucks that were communication trucks that they would hide behind buildings that people couldn't even see. And Glenn Beck and myself actually had done a quick video of this. They had no idea what their role or responsibility was. And when we asked them, how does people find out that you're even at this location? Oh, well, the media is putting it out. How tone deaf can you be knowing that people don't have their houses, don't have their ability to have electricity, have lost everything that they own? And I explained this to the young lady that was there. I said, well, what happens to people who's lost everything? Oh, well, a lot of people are very resilient and they'll get in their cars and charge their phones to listen to what the updates are. Wow. I said, man, you couldn't be more further from the truth. Look, I spent 5 days in Western North Carolina. I dropped over 23,000 pounds of supplies from every part of Western North Carolina, from Broad River to South Toe to Asheville to Burnsville, up to Cello, up to Pensacola, over to Banner Elk. You name it, I was there, and I watched it and witnessed it on the ground. For 5 days, Judge Jeanine, we delivered medications, insulin, oxygen bottles, generators, Starlinks to try and get connectivity to get our missing persons down. And guess what I didn't see? I didn't see a single federal government individual out there or FEMA once. It's the same thing here in Florida, in my hometown, where I'm a congressional member of the Florida 7th District. We haven't seen FEMA once. And thank God that we have great patriots, great Americans, great charities that have stepped up. And this is showing the federal government, Americans are helping Americans. And we need less federal government. We need more state empowerment, because Governor Ron DeSantis is showing the federal government we don't need you.
Amen. Amen. Congressman Cory Mills. Here's the key point that you made. It's about Americans helping Americans. Now, you didn't mention it, but I want my listeners to hear this. Folks, Cory Mills is a hero in most quarters. He not only delivered supplies and was involved in search and rescue, as he calls it, Western North Carolina, but he was involved in getting Americans out of Afghanistan in 21, helping in Israel in 23 and Haiti in 24. You were part of the Pineapple Express, which was that you? Which one were you, Cory?
Wasn't part of Pineapple Express. We had our own individual thing. And actually, in 2021, our team conducted the very first successful overland rescue of Americans that had ever been done for a woman and 3 children from Amarillo, Texas. And then in 2023, when we had the October 7th horrendous, barbaric incident where a terrorist organization, Hamas, killed over 1,200 innocent people, we ended up getting 255 Americans out of there. And then in 2024, with this pattern of abandonment that this administration has about leaving Americans behind but keeping open borders for illegal criminal migrants to come across, we rescued 23 Americans and 59 children out of Haiti before this administration ever lifted a finger on any of those actual events. And so what I found out is that you have to shame this administration, which has no shame, into doing their job so that we can actually show that we, the people, will step up and do what's necessary when the federal government fails us.
Well, and I didn't mention this, but folks, Congressman Cory Mills from Florida served in the with the 82nd Airborne Division and Joint Special Operations Command. He's been everywhere. He's been in deployments: Iraq, Afghanistan, Kosovo, Pakistan, Somalia. You've seen the world, Cory Mills, and like me, I'm sure you grew up thinking that the cavalry was always coming for Americans. And the first time that I had ever heard that was not the case was when President Biden talked about, if Americans don't get out in Afghanistan, they're just going to leave them. And then I realized that this administration, it doesn't have as its concern American citizens, but it is more worried about the global community, and America comes last. Congressman Cory Mills, thank you for giving us your time this morning. God bless you. Take care.
God bless you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.